Have you ever wondered what truly happens the moment we take our last breath? The question of what occurs after our final breath is one of humanity's oldest mysteries. Does our identity vanish into oblivion, or do we journey through mystical gates beyond human comprehension? Today we embark on a profound exploration guided by the Tibetan Book of the Dead, also known as Bardo Thodol, one of the most profound spiritual texts in Tibetan Buddhism. This isn't merely a text on death. It's an intricate roadmap guiding souls through the enigmatic transition between death and rebirth. Crafted by the legendary Padmasambhava, also revered as Guru Rinpoche, the precious teacher, this text was created not just for the dying, but for all seekers of spiritual enlightenment. Padmasambhava was no ordinary monk. He was a visionary yogi known for mystical abilities and profound spiritual insights, credited with bringing Buddhism to Tibet in the 8th century. Amidst a landscape brimming with ancient shamanic traditions, he employed tantric rituals and spiritual practices to harmonize Buddhism with Tibet's indigenous Bon beliefs. This blending was pivotal in establishing a resilient spiritual foundation in Tibet. Padmasambhava understood that death is merely a powerful transitional state, a moment when the consciousness becomes remarkably receptive to spiritual truths, freed from physical constraints. Yet he also knew that most souls become trapped by fear and illusion, missing the rare opportunity for liberation offered at this moment. Thus, the Bardo Thodol was intended as a compassionate guide, aiding souls and practitioners alike through the complex realities following death. What if your greatest fears and deepest desires become vividly real in an instant after death? The Bardo Thodol introduces us to three principal bardos, or transitional states, every soul encounters after death. The first, the Chikhai Bardo, marks the moment of physical death. As the body dissolves, the consciousness is greeted by an intense, radiant clear light, an expression of ultimate reality and pure awareness. Recognizing this clear light provides an immediate opportunity for enlightenment and liberation. However, this state is overwhelming. Unprepared souls often recoil from this brilliance due to fear or attachment, missing this profound chance for freedom. Then comes the Chonyid Bardo, the stage of vivid visions. Here, without physical form, the soul experiences projections of its accumulated karmic impressions. These visions manifest as serene or wrathful deities, directly mirroring the soul's emotional and karmic state. Peaceful figures represent our positive qualities, while wrathful forms embody suppressed fears and desires. These powerful dreamlike visions serve as intense opportunities for enlightenment, teaching souls to recognize their inner illusions and emotional baggage. Souls that maintain awareness can understand these visions as mere mental projections, empty of inherent reality. Recognizing this emptiness, known as shunyata, allows souls to navigate beyond fear and attachment, moving closer to liberation. Without this realization, souls remain trapped in the karmic cycle, bound to rebirth. Could our choices after death shape the very essence of our next life? The final stage, Sidpa Bardo, presents a crucial juncture, the choice of the next life. Here, the soul confronts its deepest attachments and fears, driven by accumulated karmic energies. The powerful pull toward rebirth feels irresistible, shaped by the soul's unresolved desires and emotional states. This stage vividly presents scenes symbolizing new births, urging the soul to select a new existence reflective of its karmic condition. Yet the Bardo Thodol emphasizes that even here lies the opportunity for liberation. Souls capable of remaining calm and detached can recognize these visions as temporary mental constructs, freeing themselves from the compulsive cycle of rebirth. Choosing liberation over rebirth is the ultimate goal, a state of merging with the clear light, transcending physical existence altogether. Preparation for this critical choice begins in our current life. Through mindfulness, meditation, and contemplating impermanence, we cultivate detachment from fleeting illusions, strengthening our ability to remain aware and calm amidst the intense spiritual revelations of the afterlife. Ultimately, the Tibetan Book of the Dead is more than a guide for dying. It's a profound reflection on living meaningfully, reminding us that life and death are intertwined aspects of our spiritual journey. As Ram Dass profoundly stated, when facing death, the essential question is, how much did you love? Thus, engaging deeply with these teachings prepares us not only for death, but for a life of authentic fulfillment and profound understanding. If this exploration has sparked your curiosity, don't forget to share this insight and subscribe for more spiritual journeys. Let us know in the comments what fascinates you most about the mysteries beyond death. Together, we'll continue exploring the profound depths of existence. Let's delve deeper into each transitional state. The Chikhai Bardo is particularly significant because it represents the very instant our physical form ceases to function, but our consciousness is vividly alert. The dazzling clear light encountered in this state is essentially the true nature of our minds, pure and undistorted. This profound clarity offers a rare and powerful opportunity for souls to realize their fundamental nature, thereby achieving liberation instantly and effortlessly. However, such a realization requires prior spiritual preparation and mindfulness. Most individuals, unfortunately, find themselves overwhelmed and bewildered by this profound clarity, recoiling from it in fear due to strong attachments to their worldly lives. The missed opportunity here becomes a significant loss as the soul transitions into the subsequent phases of the afterlife. In the second state, the Chonyid Bardo, the soul is immersed in potent psychological manifestations of its subconscious mind. Visions in this stage vary significantly from serene and divine apparitions to terrifying manifestations of suppressed emotions. These experiences are intense, unfiltered expressions of one's accumulated karma. Practicing mindfulness and meditative discipline during one's lifetime can significantly ease this process, allowing the soul to recognize these visions as mental projections rather than objective realities. Finally, the Sidpa Bardo involves a critical juncture where the soul experiences an irresistible pull toward rebirth. This stage vividly symbolizes the immense influence of unresolved emotional and karmic energies. The process of selecting a new existence is profoundly subconscious and instinctual, driven by the karmic patterns deeply embedded in our consciousness. Yet, even at this juncture, the teachings emphasize the possibility of liberation. Souls that maintain clarity and awareness can rise above instinctual compulsions, choosing enlightenment over rebirth. Preparation for these bardos begins now, in the present life, through dedicated meditation, consistent self-reflection, and deep spiritual understanding. We develop the ability to face these profound after-death experiences with composure and insight. Thus, the Tibetan Book of the Dead serves not only as guidance for after death, but also as a powerful reminder to live life meaningfully, consciously, and compassionately. Life, death, and rebirth form a continuous cycle driven by our choices, perceptions, and actions. By understanding and internalizing these teachings, we empower ourselves to break free from the cycle of suffering, ultimately achieving enlightenment and spiritual freedom. The Tibetan Book of the Dead profoundly illuminates the nature of our existence by teaching that death is not an end, but rather a powerful opportunity. It is a passage marked by significant spiritual potential, waiting to be realized through conscious preparation and spiritual discipline cultivated during our lifetime. Padmasambhava's compassionate teachings remind us that every moment lived mindfully contributes to a clearer awareness at death, greatly influencing our ability to achieve ultimate liberation. Understanding and reflecting upon death regularly can radically transform how we approach life itself. When we acknowledge impermanence, we naturally live more intentionally, cherishing every interaction, every relationship, and every moment. These teachings empower us to live authentically, reducing the fear and attachment that often cloud our lives. Each Bardo state provides profound insights into our inner workings. The Chikhai Bardo, especially, underscores the immediacy of enlightenment at the moment of death, revealing that liberation is accessible right here, right now, and intimately connected to our own intrinsic nature. To grasp this opportunity, it is crucial to practice recognizing our pure nature regularly, strengthening our ability to remain unshaken by powerful spiritual revelations. In the Chonyid Bardo, we see clearly how our psychological state and karmic imprints shape our perceptions. These vivid experiences, though intense and potentially unsettling, are simply mirrors reflecting our inner psyche. Recognizing their true nature as illusions, temporary and transient, provides the key to liberation. This realization dissolves the bonds of fear and desire that trap us in endless rebirth. Finally, the Sidpa Bardo offers a dramatic revelation of the immense power of our subconscious desires and fears. Choosing the next life is not merely about selecting another physical existence. It's about unconsciously reflecting our spiritual lessons still to be learned. By cultivating a profound understanding of our attachments and habitual patterns during life, we strengthen our spiritual discernment, enabling the possibility of consciously choosing liberation rather than remaining bound to the cycle of rebirth. Ultimately, the wisdom contained in the Bardo Thodol urges us to reflect deeply upon our lives, transforming not only our perception of death, but also our experience of living. It serves as a comprehensive guide for those committed to spiritual awakening, emphasizing the importance of awareness, compassion, and mindfulness in every aspect of life. Such profound preparation ensures that when our moment of transition arrives, we face it not with fear, but with calm clarity and profound insight, ready for the profound possibilities awaiting us beyond. Life is indeed a continuous journey of discovery, and death is a pivotal milestone that offers the deepest revelations about ourselves and our connection to the universe. Let us continue this journey together, committed to understanding these mysteries more deeply, embracing life with renewed purpose, love, and clarity. To truly grasp the teachings of the Tibetan Book of the Dead, it helps to reflect not only in abstract terms, but in the very fabric of our daily lives. What does it mean to prepare for death while living? It begins with the simple yet transformative act of turning inward, through meditation, through mindfulness, and through honest reflection on our emotions, attachments, and fears. Imagine waking up each day knowing that everything you see and experience is impermanent. Instead of reacting with fear or denial, you become more compassionate, more patient, and more forgiving. This mindset, cultivated through consistent spiritual practice, becomes your inner compass when facing the ultimate transition, the moment of death. Tibetan masters often say that the way we die is an extension of the way we live. So if we live consciously, we die consciously. The Bardos also offer a practical guide for caregivers and spiritual companions. The text isn't just for the dying, it's also for those who support others at the edge of death. Whispering prayers, reminding the soul of the clear light, helping them let go of regrets and attachments, these acts have a profound effect on the departing consciousness. According to the Bardo Thodol, even a single moment of clarity and surrender at death can change the trajectory of a soul's journey. In modern times, science is slowly catching up with what mystics have long said. Near-death experiences often describe light, presence, timelessness, and encounters with otherworldly beings, details that align with what is described in the Bardos. Psychologists like Carl Jung have pointed out that these experiences mirror the deep unconscious, where symbolic forms of inner truths reside. Moreover, the visions of deities, whether wrathful or peaceful, can be interpreted as energetic representations of our mental patterns. These are not out there, but in here, reflections of the mind when it is unfiltered by the body. That's why the text advises spiritual training in life, not to escape reality, but to pierce through it. Enlightenment is not somewhere else. It is recognizing what's always been here, the luminous awareness that watches all experience. Let us not overlook the emotional dimensions of this teaching. Love, kindness, forgiveness. These aren't just moral virtues. They are practices that shape our spiritual body. In the Bardo states, emotional clarity can stabilize the spirit. A heart that has learned to release hatred and resentment travels lighter and is less likely to be dragged into painful rebirths. The more we forgive in life, the freer we become in death. Teachers often emphasize that rebirth is not punishment, it's curriculum. If we don't awaken in one life, we return to learn the lessons our soul still needs. The idea is not to judge our path, but to become conscious of it. With every life, every death, and every bardo, we are being given the gift of awareness. Even the difficult, terrifying visions in the Chonyid Bardo are opportunities for integration and growth. In this way, the Bardo Thodol is more than an esoteric scripture. It is a call to awakening. It speaks to every human being across time and culture, saying, "You are more than your fears. You are more than your past. You are the radiant awareness that survives death, that lives in truth, and that can be free." And so when we ask what happens when we die, we are also asking, what am I doing with my life? Because the two are intimately connected. To prepare for death is to live with greater wisdom, to cherish every moment, and to love more deeply than ever before. So the journey doesn't end with death. It transforms, it evolves. It offers a mirror to the soul and a ladder to the infinite. As we read these teachings and reflect on them, we are slowly, gently preparing for that final moment, not with fear, but with dignity, insight, and love. To gain deeper clarity, let us consider the implications of these teachings for our personal and collective evolution. The Bardo Thodol isn't merely a text that addresses death in the abstract. It is a profound mirror showing how we, as conscious beings, relate to the unknown, the unseen, and the ultimate mystery of existence. Across cultures and centuries, spiritual traditions have spoken of a journey beyond death. What distinguishes the Tibetan Book of the Dead is its unflinching precision in mapping this journey. While some faiths provide general promises of heaven or rebirth, the Bardo Thodol presents a step-by-step unveiling of consciousness as it disintegrates from form and reconfigures in energy. It's a kind of spiritual technology, designed not to be worshipped, but to be practiced. Let us pause to imagine what it would be like to face the clear light with full awareness. What if, in that moment, our entire life's emotional weight came to the surface? Not to punish us, but to give us one final chance to choose wisdom. Would we be ready to release regret, pride, and fear? Would we recognize the light not as something external, but as our true self revealed at last? These are not just poetic questions. They are psychological and spiritual challenges that call us to train now. By practicing meditation, developing emotional literacy, and engaging in acts of service, we begin to polish the mirror of the mind. As Tibetan teachings say, recognize the dream as a dream. This is why advanced practitioners spend their lives preparing for death. For them, the Bardos are not theoretical. They are rehearsals. Each moment of silence, each breath of awareness, is a step toward readiness. As we let go of egoic illusions, we uncover our Buddha nature, ever present, compassionate, and indestructible. In this way, death becomes not an enemy, but an ally, a teacher, a portal into a reality more vast than we can currently imagine. And through the lens of the Bardo Thodol, we begin to see that the afterlife is not a fantasy. It is a continuation of consciousness, colored by intention, awareness, and the spiritual integrity we have cultivated. Ultimately, the Tibetan Book of the Dead reminds us that there is no separation between the sacred and the ordinary. Every thought, every choice, and every breath becomes part of the path. Whether we are sitting in meditation, helping a loved one, or grieving a loss, we are participating in the sacred journey through life and death. So let us take heart. We are not alone in this mystery. With each step we take on the path of awareness, we align ourselves with generations of seekers who have walked before us. Their wisdom, inscribed in the Bardo Thodol, continues to guide and illuminate. Let us live with that courage. Let us prepare not only for the end, but for the freedom that lies beyond it. To bring this journey full circle, let us reflect on the universal relevance of these teachings, not only for monks or spiritual seekers in the Himalayas, but for everyday people living modern lives. The core message of the Bardo Thodol is not bound to geography, religion, or historical era. It speaks to the human condition. It reminds us that the nature of mind is fundamentally the same across all people: luminous, aware, and capable of profound transformation. This truth holds even in the face of immense suffering. Whether one is struggling with illness, loss, or inner turmoil, the Bardos provide a structure of hope. They show that no state is permanent and no moment is final until liberation is reached. The idea that every soul, regardless of its past, has the chance to awaken even at the moment of death is one of the most compassionate visions in all of spiritual literature. In fact, the Bardos can be understood metaphorically in daily life. Every moment of confusion is a mini Bardo. Every transition, a job change, a heartbreak, a moment of deep insight can be seen as a spiritual threshold. In that sense, life prepares us for death with each small ending and beginning we encounter. The key is whether we face those thresholds with awareness or with fear. Therefore, the teachings encourage us to build habits of inner stillness, to become familiar with our mind, to practice letting go in small ways of opinions, grudges, and expectations, so that when the great letting go comes, we are not strangers to the process. We are already fluent in the language of surrender. Furthermore, the Bardo Thodol urges us to develop not just wisdom, but also compassion. Liberation is not an escape for the privileged few. It is an invitation extended to all sentient beings. When we dedicate our spiritual progress for the benefit of others, when we cultivate bodhicitta, the mind of enlightenment, we align ourselves with the highest aspirations of the human spirit. This text, then, is not merely about dying well. It is about living with clarity, integrity, and depth. It asks us to question our assumptions, to befriend our fears, and to embrace the impermanence that defines existence. It shows us that even the most terrifying vision, when seen with awakened eyes, can become a doorway to liberation. In closing, let us remember that we are not waiting for death to begin our spiritual path. We are already walking it. Each act of mindfulness, each moment of grace, each time we choose love over fear, we are preparing. And when that final breath comes, we will meet it not as a stranger, but as an old friend. May all beings find peace in their transitions, clarity in their dreams, and liberation in their light.